Alright, so day 3, and I don't know what topic to talk about. So I am going to be talking about horror, because I really enjoy horror. I've always been like... I've always loved horror as a kid, even though I was terrified of horror. Like, I was like... I'm actually... This is really embarrassing to admit, but... I genuinely did get scared by FNAF jump scares. Yeah, that's... It's really embarrassing, but I did get jump scared, and I've been terrified of FNAF. It was the scariest thing It wasn't the scariest thing I've ever had in my childhood, but it definitely was a major part of me being a big horror fan. The one thing that did scare me as a kid and terrified me the most was definitely Slender Man. So the funny thing is that I actually, as a kid, believed Slender Man was real. I gaslit myself into believing Slender Man was real, and he was specifically targeting me. Just for no reason. I don't know. Because, like, I used to live in, like, my old house had this really long staircase going up to the second floor, and then there was the basement. Alright, to, like, better explain how it works, I'm just gonna have to draw this. So, here's the stairs that was to go upstairs and to, like, the living area. So here's the not first floor. Here's the second floor. And here is where here is the most terrifying, because there was only a light here and another light here. So to get this light, it was up here. But to turn this light on, you had to be down here. It was like, I think around here by the door, but it was like dark. It was very dark over here, and here was the basement, and this always terrified me because it wasn't like, it was such a really like tight and narrow space, and it was so dark. It was like a mine shaft, I guess, and that just really it just really terrified me. I would always run up the stairs because I thought that Slenderman was right fucking here, just looking at me while running up the stairs as a small little child, being terrified of the dark. And it's even worse because here's the top down view. Okay, so here's like a little hallway, and here's the stairs down to the basement. And to go downstairs, well, I could go I could go this way I could go this way as well, but I didn't really go this way because it led outside to like a street, so I always went this way. But yeah, my house is a little complicated. It's like a restaurant below my house, which my family owns. So here's my here's where I have my room with my sisters and my mom and dad. Here is like another room where I had... It was just more of like a guest room, I guess. No one really lived there. Like one of my uncles did live there at some point in time, but he did eventually move out. And then over here is where my grandparents lived. And then over here is where kind of like the miscellaneous stuff is. Like, it's where we put all the stuff we didn't need. Like, we had a bunch of stuff, like boxes, because my parents owned a restaurant, so here we had like spare boxes and stuff. And then there was also the laundry. But it was basically just a room that was never really like used. It was terrifying as a kid to me because of how dark it was. And my parents, I don't know if they don't care about the door being like, they're adults, okay? They're not terrified of fucking Slender Men. So they always leave the door open. So then my parents would always like be downstairs and they would always yell up the stairs, "It's time to eat." I have to fucking walk out of here, look directly into here, because I had to put on shoes here. Yeah, yeah, we don't wear shoes in Asian household, okay? So I had to wear my shoes here, or slippers. I don't know. I forgot actually, but I had to stare directly into here as I'm walking out of the room, and it always terrified me. Like later on, this became the dark place for Pennywise to live in. Yeah, Pennywise the clown. Okay, a lot more. I was older then, but I was still terrified of the fucking dark. And that's my that's just me explaining me getting scared of stuff. Anyways, that was just me explaining why I was about my horror stories. Okay. This one time on Halloween, I did have, I don't know if it was, because I'm not a believer of the paranormal, but in the room that my parents and I, and my sisters, I don't know how to grammar that correctly, but in that room, whenever I was coming, we were trick-or-treating, and then we went into the living room area, and then the door slowly started closing. I think I'm gonna have to bring out the paint again. Alright, so here's the layout. Here's the door where we come in from the hallway here. And then there's this big area here, which I think was my room at the time. Here's another door to a little smaller room, which I think my parents lived in. And then, no, wait, I think I lived in here. No, wait, not lived. I think this was I don't remember, but the main point is, here is the door. It was open like this before slowly closing down here. It didn't like shut fully, but this was terrifying as a kid, because as a kid I believed in the paranormal, but now that I'm older, I've started to learn that I don't believe in the paranormal. I'm not going to say it doesn't exist, because I want it to exist, but I don't believe it exists. So now, as a kid, this terrified me because it was paranormal. But now as an adult, it terrified me because I feel like someone snuck in my house and closed this door. I don't know how this door would close, because I don't understand how it would be possible for it to close like this when the window would blow in air like this. It can't close the door, which makes me believe that either it was my dad or some random stranger somehow snuck in my house and closed the door. I was here witnessing it with my own two eyes, the door closing. It was me, my mom, my sisters. We witnessed it. My mom checked. There was nothing there. It was just terrifying. Yeah, that's another, that's my maybe paranormal, but most likely probably my parents doing some, spooky. Because it was on Halloween, so maybe my mom hatched this brilliant idea to scare me and my sister as children on Halloween. 10 seconds, oh my god. Wow. I'm so good at this game. Alright, I don't remember how. I think I need 90. I'm going down to 90. Okay. Yeah, that's. I can't really think of any other horror stuff now. Except for stuff that. I've been scared of a lot of things as a kid, okay?
Show no mercy.
And one of the things I was scared of was a transformer. Like, I don't know if it was like a toy or not, but there was this one video I watched of an animated, wait. No. Yeah, no. There was this one animated short, not animated short, but it was the Transformers animated series where, Cliff Jumper, who was voiced by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, he would die and would turn into a zombie, and that terrified me as a child. Just how creepy he looked with like the purple glowy dark energon. It really was like terrifying to me. I don't know. And I had this dream where there was a store that just magically appeared right next to my house, and I just had to I don't know why, but it didn't exist there. But this store would open. It wouldn't even open. It was literally like there. Like, I dreamt that it was there the whole time, and it wasn't, because it was another place. But I dreamed that it was a toy store, and it had that toy of the zombie Cliff Jumper. And then I don't know what happened, but I put on. It was supposed to be a small little, like, it wasn't like a big toy. Definitely not scalable to a child. It was literally like an action figure toy. Somehow, with the power of dream magic, I guess, I dreamed that I put on his head like a helmet. And then I was stuck with the helmet on my head, and I don't know, it was really weird. Kids have really weird imaginations, I guess. Another thing that well, it didn't scare me, but it really traumatized me. As a kid, I was scared of all types of, like, violence. Like, I was scared of, like, movie fights. I don't think my mom should. Like, my first ever taste of, like, movie violence was a Fast and Furious movie, where my parents were watching it on the TV, and I think I don't remember what scene it was, but it was definitely a scene where some people were fighting with knives, and I was so terrified of it. It was scary to look at, but I guess it all stemmed down. The root of my fear of violence was Spider-Man. Yeah, that's Spider-Man caused me to fear violence. So we had this box TV, and my mom had I don't know where she got it from. I think it was like a local library. They had a Spider-Man DVD or CD. I don't know what it was. but it really was just something old. I know it doesn't really narrow it down, but I'm pretty sure it was a DVD. It was a Spider-Man DVD where in the video, the Spider-Man would get stabbed through the stomach with a katana. If someone knows what Spider-Man film short video I was talking about, then you're old. He got stabbed directly through the stomach by katana, and then he just casually just pulls it out while fighting her, like a woman I think he was fighting, I don't know. He just took his hands, clapped them together on the blade, and just pushed it out. And that just, I don't know why, that just terrified me as a kid. So, the trend here is that I get scared over weird stuff. Also, another DVD I was scared of, I'm pretty sure it was a DVD, but it was, I think, there was like, it was something about spiders. And it wasn't where, like, CGI was, like, to the point where it was now, like the live-action Transformers movies by Michael Bay was, like, something that would make this movie look like we were cavemen. But it was a spider video movie, I don't know, series, where they had like this creepy looking spider. He had like a human face on like it terrified me because I was scared of spiders, and I still am sort of scared of spiders because I don't really know how to explain this, but I'm a germaphobe, and I don't know why, but okay, I don't know why, but somehow I associated insects with germs, and that's why I will never be able to deal with a real spider. If you show me a video of a spider, cool, I can watch it. I personally really enjoy learning about spiders and animals and insects. Well, insects. I really like learning about insects. But if you put a real life insect in front of me, I will leave. I just really dislike. It's just, the weird thing is, like, I'm not like really, like, with my germophobia, it's more of like I'm scared. Well, I'm uncomfortable with mouth germs. Like my family would get a cup and we would all share it. Like, if we went to like a McDonald's and then we would get soda, I would always need to like take, and we would share the cup. Everybody drank out from the straw, and I would always be the one like either have another straw, or I would take the lid off and drink it from there. Because the mouth, I've seen everybody drink from the cup using the same straw, and it really it's just, I can't say terrified me, because it doesn't terrify me, it just grosses me out. But yeah, that's me being a germaphobe. And this is my last one, I think. Yeah. Nothing good, nothing good, nothing good. But horror. Yay. Spooky.